When professional cybercrime will start trading, for example, shorting, they can create fake news to destroy Bitcoin, make money, and a lot of people will lose their savings.
So Ilia, you've come in many times and spoken about cybersecurity and the importance of it. Now you've come in at a fantastic time today because this is just after what we've seen is a security concern which has left Bitcoin falling. We saw that $30 million worth of Bitcoin was hacked on a site called Tether. So we're going to speak about the cybersecurity issues around cryptocurrencies at the moment. How important is cybersecurity in the growing world of cryptocurrencies?
I think that cybersecurity for cryptocurrencies is quintessential. It's something that, practically speaking, provides a trust for cryptocurrencies. And if we are not sure, or we have any doubts, or we have any gaps in terms of how secure and how reliable a cryptocurrency is, or any other blockchain technology is, we should avoid using it.
And we've also seen that with people flocking to the cryptocurrency markets now, you can use e-wallets to store your cryptocurrencies on. But has there really been law enforcements that have been put in place that really protect customers that are trading cryptocurrency against these people that are hacking online?
Unfortunately, it's not something that law enforcement can efficiently investigate and prosecute and prevent. Currently, the problem is very alarming because even in well-developed countries like United States or UK, law enforcement agencies do not have enough resources. I'm speaking about qualified personnel, I'm speaking about budget, I'm speaking about technology, to investigate cyber crimes that is skyrocketing. The problem is that law enforcement have a great wealth of experience investigating street crimes, larceny, theft, murders, and they investigate them with pretty good effectiveness. However, in cybercrime, it's something emerging. And a lot of reports from different organizations and companies revealed that cybercrime now is twice bigger than a street crime. However, governments increased the law enforcement budget by 10%, 15% in order to fight cybercrime. And it's obviously disproportional, it's just insufficient to address the skyrocketing problem of cybercrime. And we should not count on law enforcement, even if we are living in a European well-developed country. We should not rely on law enforcement to help, because on one side, they do not have resources. On the other side, Bitcoin is not something that is officially regulated these days. And therefore, when you invest your money into something that is, let's say, located in a gray zone, do not count on government to save you when you have a trouble.
And you're right that Bitcoin is something that isn't necessarily regulated, and you can call it a bit of a grey zone. Now, one of the appeals, but also the risks of cryptocurrencies is the anonymity about it. You don't really know who's trading behind what, but that also means there is more room for crimes and risks. So for people that are trading, for example, what kind of advice could you give them to really protect the assets that they do hold?
If you permit, I'll start from defending Bitcoin, because some people and reputable experts were saying that Bitcoin is associated with crime, with cybercrime, money laundering. On one side, this is true. However, cash, I'm speaking about banknotes, have been used for money laundering, drugs since the beginning of the cash history. So I don't think it will be correct and statistically accurate to say that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is associated only with cybercrime. Nonetheless, it's true that many cyber criminals use Bitcoin to hide their actions, and it becomes a very big problem, because if cyber criminals are reasonably prudent, it's almost impossible to trace them. Even if you hire very skilled technical companies and you join your efforts with FBI, if everything was done properly, it's almost impossible, technically speaking, to trace what happened and who actually did it. I'd probably highlight a different problem, that today on the market we have a lot of wealthy people, or people who have some cash, who are looking for new opportunities to invest for their families, for their kids. And classical markets are unfortunately falling down. There are a lot of risks, and the income is very, let's say, small. So they're looking for new opportunities, and definitely see blockchain and Bitcoin. When they see how it's growing, they obviously say, wow, this is what I need to assure future of my kids. However, I think they overestimate the potential of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because there is no way you can predict in a reliable and calculatable way how much Bitcoin will cost, because I would say its current price is only based on the trust the community gives to it. As you just mentioned at the beginning of the discussion, there was a hack this morning. Immediately it fall down. So when professional cybercrime will start trading, for example, shorting, they can create fake news to destroy Bitcoin, make money, and a lot of people will lose their savings. Recently, I spoke with a good friend of mine. He's experienced investor into real estate, and all his life he was saying that I will never invest into stock options, futures, whatever. I'm only investing into real estate because it's something that we can touch and something that will never ever disappear. That's a very interesting position. I wouldn't probably entirely agree, but it's definitely interesting way to see the things. And finally, beginning of this year, he tried to invest into Bitcoin, and he invested quite a lot. Because he said, now I believe that this is a digital gold. I respectfully disagreed with, with this notion, discouraged him, or at least I would say I encouraged him to be careful when he invests into anything related to blockchain. Nonetheless, he invested a lot of money, and it was just several weeks before, I think there was a fork, and Bitcoin exchange rate fall down 30%. It was a temporary fall. Nonetheless, he was very scared, and he sold everything just before the Bitcoin started climbing back again. So he was frustrated and extremely disappointed. And I think we have a lot of cases like this, because people, when they start investing into blockchain-related technology, let's call it like this, because we can also speak about ICO, initial coin offerings, and other things, they are misled by startups. People try to sell their technology, and they do not properly disclose all the risks. And if we're speaking about mitigating the risks, when you try to invest into blockchain or related technology, you should clearly ask, what are the risks? Can you please define them? What if tomorrow I invest and everything falls down? Can I sell? How quickly can I sell? How quickly can I exit? How quickly I can save the cash I've put into this particular digital currency? When you invest, or when you intend to invest, you definitely need to clearly enumerate and assess and evaluate every single risk. And if a startup says, no, don't worry, it's digital gold, nothing can happen, it will only continue skyrocketing, probably something is wrong. So I would give an advice to be very careful and properly assess all the risks before spending your cash in the digital space.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for that useful information. It was a pleasure to have you back in the studios.
Thank you very much, Jessica.
Well, that's all from us here in the Geneva studios, but we want to hear how you found this interview, so please do like and comment on Dukascopy.tv.